Hey everyone, welcome to another MLM dumpster fire. Today we're back for yet another top MLM fails video. Forgot to put my phone on silent. Let me just do that because that's one of the annoying things that I used to have in my videos. I'm gonna try to be a little bit more like a professional over here. So I just don't want to have my phone going off all the freaking time during these videos. I have nothing to rant about today because, I live in a normal apartment now, so there's no brown water, thank God. Nothing is really annoying me. My little tattoos are still healing. Did I show that to you? I think I showed it to you the other day. It's the little suit sprouts. I think suit is not the right pronunciation. I think it's sot. Sot? I don't know, whatever. Before we get into today's video, big shout out as always to all my channel members. Really appreciate you guys, all your support. It means a lot to me, and thanks to everyone else who's liking my videos, subscribing. The longer you watch my videos, the more the algorithm is going to like that. And yeah, there's no disclaimer in this part of the video, and I keep wanting to say the disclaimer. Let's just get into the video, okay? One of our favorite iGenius Huns, her name is Dakota. She is the one that has cut off all of her friends and her boyfriend because they were happy with a mediocre life, and she's just not about that anymore. So this is another little kind of reel from her. So she says the ultimate secret about making six figures that society does not want you to know. Those in power don't want you to make money and question the system in which you're embedded. They want you to mindlessly perform your task for society. You will almost never become rich by working regular 9 to 5. And guess what? You will almost never become rich by working in I use that term loosely, in an MLM company, because most people don't earn any profit. My coffee got cold. I don't like cold coffee. I prefer when it's hot. It took me too long to get ready for this video. I still have like a performance anxiety, if you will, because it's been so long since I recorded videos. I said that in my previous videos where I mentioned Dakota. She's not very high up in iGenius, and her engagement on her Instagram or TikTok, it's not really giving me the vibes of a successful MLM hun. I don't really think she's that successful in an MLM. And like I said, most of the people that do MLMs as their full-time job or as their side hustle, they don't make any profit. According to the FTC, up to 99% of people in MLMs are not going to make any profit. So what are you talking about, Dakota? I'd rather be in a 9 to 5 job, getting regular paychecks, having some kind of benefits, being able to go on holidays and not have to work on my holidays, rather than being in an MLM and not having any of that, not having a regular paycheck, not being able to enjoy my holidays because you have to work on your holidays. Apparently, that's what my previous few videos, especially on paparazzi, were. These people were talking about you having to carry jewelry with you on your holidays, having to do live streams to try and sell this jewelry in your hotel room. Like, what kind of a vacation is that if you cannot relax, especially if you have a family, a partner, whoever you go on vacation with? You have to neglect them and ignore them in order to do your biz. Like, that's not a holiday then. You're just traveling and working. But anyway, next one is who is this lady? I've never covered her before, but from what I remember, she's a little bit problematic. So let's take a listen.
Attention network marketers, $1 million training coming here, right here with you. Nafsika, what do you wish more people knew when they were starting out their network marketing businesses?
This business is all about long-term gratification versus instant gratification. And if there was one thing that everyone could know, and you just decided that you weren't going to expect any results in your business, in your body, in your life for 90 days, but you still took the action, you still did the follow-ups, you still had the intention, but you just knew nothing was going to show up for 90 days, I guarantee you would be happier, you'd have less anxiety, you'd have more self-confidence, because you wouldn't be worrying about that instant yes, that instant result. You would just know, I'm going to wait 90 days to see what shows up.
And it's going to be worth it. So what if you put in the work now, committed to 90 days of consistent showing up every day, no matter what the result is, no matter how many no's you get? What would your life look like? What would your business look like? What would your finances look like? What would your bank account look like? Your savings? What would your body feel like if you just consistently knew that it wasn't going to be instant gratification, but it was going to be long term and it was going to be so worth it? Where would you be?
Okay, so this one, in my opinion, is just made in order to get people to stay longer. A lot of the people join because they see a great post on Instagram that shows off this lavish lifestyle because of this amazing opportunity, right? And then you join this amazing opportunity, which is a lot of the times presented as very easy work. It's gonna give you so much more than your corporate job, whatever you were doing before this, and you're gonna get rich. Not everyone does that, but a lot of the reps out there are going to advertise this as if so easy to get rich. You can't fail. It's nearly impossible to fail because the business is just so amazing. The opportunity is just so amazing. But I'm surprised that they said 90 days because obviously that's only a few months, and usually people don't see any kind of success in an MLM after years of being in the MLM. So I'm surprised that they opted to be like, try for 3 months and see what happens, which is good. At least people are going to try for 3 months, see that it's not working, and then they can leave rather than staying in the business for 3 years and trying to work it for 3 years, not having any progress, right? I am surprised that they took, like, that seems like a very short term for an MLM, considering that, like I said, people work MLMs for years and years and years and they don't really get anywhere. So 3 months seems like a irrational thing, even for YouTube or anything else. If you told me, oh, you'll see some success after 3 months, I'd be very disappointed after 3 months. I mean, I'm like 2 years in, more than 2 years in, and I barely hit 2K recently. All thanks to DC. If you're watching that, I really appreciate you. I don't know how to work the algorithm. I can't figure it out. So I've been progressing very, very slow. But I knew this was gonna happen. I did not expect my channel to like blow up overnight. So my expectations were not, oh, in 3 months I'm gonna have 1K subs or even more and I'm gonna be a partner or whatever. Like, I did not go into this with those kind of expectations. If I did, and if I after 3 months only had like 100 sub or something only, that's obviously a lot still for me, but you know what I mean. Let's watch this one. She's probably not gonna mention the company. Okay, hello, trigger warning, victim blaming, and trigger warning, I'm gonna go into abusive relationship talks.
I used to be in a relationship with really toxic guys. And I also used to work in a toxic work environment. And I also used to have really toxic friendships. It wasn't until I started looking in the mirror and working on myself that I realized that I was the one being toxic and creating toxic relationships. When I took responsibility for my energy, my actions, and how I was showing up in my life, everything changed.
Lady, I feel sad for you. If you were actually in a toxic relationship and all you got out of that toxic relationship is blaming yourself for being in that toxic relationship, I honestly feel sad for you because victim blaming is not very nice, okay? You cannot victim blame. Some of you might know, I mean, if you religiously watch most of my videos, you probably know that I have been in an abusive relationship in the past when I was 19, yeah. And this relationship, it was mentally abusive and then it turned physically abusing one night, and then that's when I left after that night, but it was too late. I was already traumatized for life. So I guess what I need to do is not go to therapy, and which I did, and work on this and find ways to not let this trauma and fear rule over my life. I was supposed to accept that it was my fault because I attracted this abuser type of person, and it was my fault that he decided to beat me up one day. So it was all my fault, and I guess I need to take accountability for that. Like, obviously it's not my fault. I did not blame myself. I did blame myself in the beginning, but then after a while being in therapy, I realized that it was not my fault. He's just a psychopath, okay? But I also am in a 5.5-year-old relationship now, and we get along great. We had our issues in the beginning because of my trauma and everything from the past, but we learned how to work through it. We worked a lot on communication. We get along great now, and I'm very happy with where we are right now. I am in a successful, loving relationship now without victim blaming myself for what happened with my abuse in the past. And like I said, lady, if you blame yourself, if you are the victim and you're blaming yourself, go to therapy, okay? Please just talk to a professional, because usually, it's not the victim's fault. And I know people do messed up things after they've been hurt, things like that. Like, relationships can turn abusive in both ways, but again, it doesn't take away from the fact that the abuser abuser brought you to that point. But that's just my own point of view. That's just my own opinion on that as a victim. Yeah, I thought this was very triggering, and like 77 people like that. I was like, oh my God, like it's not your fault. Sometimes you attract even like with just toxicity and maybe not that dark of a subject. Like I had toxic friends in the past as well. Should I blame myself for attracting them and for hanging out with them and then it turned toxic? I don't really blame myself. I think some people just aren't compatible. Some people just change. I've stopped talking to a few of my friends that were close to me since we were very young age, but we just weren't good for each other anymore. We were toxic together. And do I necessarily think that I'm toxic on my own or that person? No, it's just that we weren't compatible and our friendship just didn't make any sense to me. So again, you don't need to victim blame. You can be a reasonable grown-up person and just accept that sometimes things don't work out. Relationships, friendships, work, whatever. It doesn't have to be anyone's fault. You can acknowledge it and you can move on and you can work on being better, you know. But anyway, maybe that's just my opinion. Let's move on to the next one. This is the woman that was in her past video.
The importance of changing your identity. Recently heard this and it blew my mind, so I wanted to share it with you all because I was like, duh, that makes sense, okay? And this is gonna tie into the reason why changing your identity is so important. Because this is what I heard that I was like, what? If the identity that we had right now was working to create what we wanted, we would already have it, right? Like there's that saying, if he wanted to, he would, right? For you women out there, you know what I'm talking about. It's kind of the same with our identity. If we were supposed to get the things that we desire as the person who we are today, we would already have those things. So a lot of times we need to shift our identity and who we are to match and attract the things that we desire. Because there's the quote, I think it's Albert Einstein, right? Who says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. That also is true with who we be. If we expect to be the same person and do the same things every single day and get different results, we're insane.
Wow, she even walked out on us as if she just did a mic drop. This reminds me of Millie Mills last week and all of her secret room, see the unseen. You have to become in the secret room so that you can become out there in the physical world or whatever kind of crap that she talked about. What do they mean, change your identity? Like, she really thinks she did something here, but I'm just like, I don't understand. What did you just tell me? I need to change my personality? What do I need to do? Why am I not a successful YouTuber yet? Do I need to change my personality? What do I need to do? You know, give us some further advice on how to actually do that. They're just like, oh, don't do that. That's bad. And you're never going to be successful. But I'm also not going to tell you how to be successful and what to do to be successful. So great, thanks. Very useful advice as per usual. Let's see this one. This one, I'm gonna put my glasses on because I think my sight got worse since I did like an MLM horror story the last time because I cannot see anything. Or maybe the screen is smaller. Yeah, I bought a Mac in the meantime because I wanted to have a great editor to be able to edit Julie Joe's videos. I'm using a Mac and I'm usually a Windows person. Anyways, this one says 10 business tips. Follow for more. 1. Fear doesn't go away. You just get better at navigating it and not allowing it to hold you back. 2. Investing will always kind of make you want to your pants, but it's worth it. 3. If you're not resourceful, you probably won't make it past year 1. You need to be willing to do whatever it takes to find the answers and resources to keep moving. 4. Marketing is actually everything. If you can't get people through door number 1, how can you expect to invite them to walk through doors number 2, 3, and 4 with you? 5. Revenue is not the same as profit. Yes, and profit is not the same as income. Numbers can be both inspiring and misleading, so please take them, even mine, with a grain of salt. Okay, I appreciate the number 5 at least. 6. Personality counts. Be open, share often, be yourself. Yeah, you mean overshare so that people can connect with you. 7. If you find it hard to do what you say you want to do, you either A, don't want it bad enough, or B, probably need to pay someone to hold you accountable so that you have more skin in the game. Does that mean like get an upline so the upline can yell at you or something like that? Feeling cringy is part of the process. If you're not willing to look dumb or make mistakes, you can just quit now. 9, not everyone is going to understand what you're trying to do and who you're trying to be. Do it anyway. 10, changing someone's life in a profound way will make you way happier than hitting any money milestone ever could. I mean, sure, whatever. Changing someone's life in a profound way by asking them to join a multi-level marketing scheme, which resembles a pyramid scheme, a product-based pyramid scheme. How are you changing their lives in a profound way if you are recruiting them into something where they're gonna work their asses off and they're barely gonna make any income? 99% of people across multi-level marketing companies usually don't make any profit. The numbers are obviously different for each company, but they're all very similar if you look at the income disclosure statements. So you're not helping those people. You're actually hurting them financially, and they're also wasting their time. A lot of the time, they're gonna neglect family time, their kids and whatever, their spouses, their holidays, because they're working this biz and they're just not focusing on their relationships. So you're not helping them in a profound way. You're actually, like I said, you're just hurting them. Anyway, let's take a look at this one. I feel like, oh yeah, this is the one that's gonna go into my thumbnail.
Hold on, let me get my glasses on so I can see it. What is that? Oh, it's a bitch!
So there we have it, all of my anti-MLM friends. This was, as you can see, this was a message to all of us MLM haters, as they like to call us. And I see that the caption said, don't even get me started on the shape of the business, as if it's not a pyramid. We don't call it a pyramid scheme because it's a shape of a pyramid. It's called a pyramid scheme if most money comes from recruitment and not sales or products. It's recruitment. That's what makes something a pyramid scheme. I have not seen any anti-MLM creator ever actually say that something's a pyramid scheme because like the structure of the business is shaped as a pyramid. I've literally never seen anyone say that. This is just something that MLM people like to say that we say, but we don't really say it. Also, I mean, calling people on your social media. She's got 107 comments. I wonder if that's anti-MLM people in the comment section, or if it's just other MLM hunts being like, yeah, they're those haters, they're all bitches. Like, come on, where is your, how do you say that in English? Bon ton. That's very rude anyway. I feel like that's very rude, very uncalled for, because you don't really see, oh, this is a Seint hun as well. You don't really see us insulting anyone in the MLM space, even the people that are extremely annoying, extremely hurtful to people. I have not really seen anyone call them names or anything like that. We come with facts and you come with insults. So very professional of you, lady. I mean, just put yourself in this position. If your boss, like if your full-time job or whatever, if your boss starts calling someone from the competition a bitch or things like that, how would you react? Like, that would not be very professional from the boss to say things like that. Was that really necessary? Do you not have anything else, like counter them with some facts or debunk them or whatever, rather than insulting them? But we all know they're insulting because they don't have any facts. They can't debunk us because we're right. So I'm not hurt by that. I hope you're not hurt by that either. She's just frustrated. So let's move on to the next one. I believe Lisa Harvey already covered this lady in one of her videos. I think I sent her this video, but I also wanted to cover it myself. This is an Arbonne lady. I'm also going to link Lisa's video on this reaction down below if you want to see her commentary. Why can't I speak? If you want to hear her commentary on that. I have to make notes because, guys, my brain fog is not getting any better. And let's start watching this.
Good evening, everybody. Hello, welcome to our Monday night training. How are we all? This is here, just jumping on here and delighted to share with you for the next probably just about 15 minutes, just some ideas for you to be able to create an amazing story for your future with this incredible brand. Just like I wanted to when I started. When I was thinking about this training tonight, I was thinking, you know, we're always talking about the people we're looking for and who we want to reach out to. But I think it's really important to remember what our story is. So I'm just going to give you some top tips and some ideas to really think about, you know, the people you could be looking for, what made you start, and what's your story. So here we go, and I hope this helps you with a few ideas. But I wanted to create a really great story for my future with this incredible brand. When I started, I didn't know exactly what it was, but I was excited by that. So when you're out there prospecting, when you're out there, don't even call it prospecting, when you're out there talking to people and you're just thinking, I'd love to share what this is, look for people who maybe you think would like to change their story too, like you did. So think about the people that you would love to work with. I think this is what's really, really important. Find the people you would love to work with, but they need to be open, and they need to be coachable too. And they might be doing.
Can I just ask, lady, where are you? Because that sound in the background does not come off as a very professional setting for this meeting. That's all I'm gonna say. I've been watching too many DC live streams lately. What is wrong with the light? Why are you sitting the way you are? Why can't we make it a little bit more professional if we want to make this look and sound professional? Why is our setup so bad? And the sounds in the background.
Really ordinary things at the moment. They don't need to be super, super successful, high-powered business people. I have sponsored some of those people into my business, I'll tell you, honestly, and they're not always coachable, and their other business is their absolute passion. And so they can't always see how this could be their future. So look for people that might be doing things that are ordinary. They might be great, but they just might be ordinary things. But with your inspiration and your leadership, their story could become extraordinary. And I look at a lot of the very successful people in this business, and some of them have come from ordinary jobs and ordinary careers, right? They weren't already multi-millionaires when they started this business. They were teachers, they worked in marketing, they were dancers, they were all sorts of people. But you could imagine that maybe to them, they were doing their ordinary job, right? But remember as well that this can fit into as it could with me. This business can fit into your existing life without too much disruption. That is a very important thing that people need to understand with this business. Because if they think it's going to take up all their time or disrupt their time, it's much harder for them to imagine doing it. So when I looked at this business, I thought I could fit this into my existing life without too much.
Is she in a coffee shop? It's very hard for me to concentrate on what she's saying because I keep hearing those people in the background. And she seems very distracted as well.
Disruption. And I could see that with the guidance of my sponsor, obviously, who is Ella Harper, I could create an action plan, right? So I speak to a lot of people, and this was me when I started. I actually was happy to earn another £500 a month right now. That's what I thought. That would make a difference to me. People don't need to imagine straight away that they can earn £10,000 because that seems inaccessible to a lot of people. So I always thought I could earn £500. Do you know anyone else that when you talk to them, they could actually say, yeah, maybe £500 would make a difference a month? And when you can find people that want to do that through the sales of products and the efforts of others that you have enrolled, so you've got the direct selling part and you've got the network marketing part. If you had 4 people that you know that were all doing that,
direct selling and network marketing, same thing. They're the same thing.
Who also all wanted £500, guess what? Everyone is getting their efforts rewarded. And when you get your efforts rewarded, you feel content. And if you're content and getting your needs met, then you're going to aspire to want to have more. So, think about those people who you could help change their story through whatever reasons they've got going on. I could see straight away, and I could say now to people, if they tell me they'd love to do something different, I'd say, well, how about coming and working with me? I'd love to work with you. We're a sustainably sourced company. We're a B corporation. We're carbon neutral. People are so much more open to spend their money now more than ever before, with everything we're just going through in the climate at the moment, where it will make a difference and where you're giving back to the planet. So This is a future-driven business. It's a lifestyle business. You know, I'm building a life with this. And I think who wouldn't want to do that? So, you know, put maybe a date to achieve those things, have an action plan. And my commitment now, and I hope that you could maybe see that for yourself, is to ensure that you all could create, could show others how to have a valuable asset for the future. Obviously, go to earnings.arbonne.com, but nothing can hold me back from in this apart from me in this organization. And I think when you really realize that, you're not looking up, down.
Since she just redirected us to the earnings, I was just typing earnings. Arbonne earnings. Let's take a quick goosey gander into this income disclosure statement. This is for 2022. So our lowest rank, independent consultants. Average annual earnings were $223. Median, which is more accurate than average earnings, is $119 yearly. Guys, yearly. This is so bad. And 63% of all independent consultants are sitting on this rank. So 63% of all distributors in Arbonne are earning annually around $119. Just think of the amount of work that goes into this. How many people they have to cold message every day. That shit is time consuming. How many calls and trainings they have to attend every day or every week. My God, like all of that work for $119, and that's not even profit because they're still spending money on products and stuff and maybe trips if they're going to conferences and everything. This is nothing. They're not earning anything. Even the next rank is district manager, and median income is $1,250 annually again, and this is 25% of people. That probably doesn't even cover the amount of money that they spend just on Arbonne products every year. So thanks for sending us here. I think this is a horrible income disclosure statement, but let's keep watching.
Sideways or backwards, you're literally thinking, I know where this company's going. I know what I want to achieve. I know how I'd like to change my story for my future. Nothing can hold me back in this organization apart from me, because there's no glass ceiling. And I can make my own mistakes, and I can be brave to fall forward and do it again. So I want to plant that seed in your head when you're thinking about your story, why you started this, so that you can attract a team who also want to change their story too, right? And I am talking here about looking for people who want to change their story in terms of creating a business, right? Because you can find thousands of clients over time who want to change their skin and want to look and feel great. Some of those people will eventually become business partners. But if you were looking for more people like you, because I started this business straight away as a business partner, so I can only talk from my perspective. I was going to use the products anyway. I'm the greatest product user there is. So I'm ticking all the boxes for the person that enrolled me, because I'm going to use the products and I want to run a business. So think about those people so that you can attract a team, but it starts with you knowing why you started this, what your story is, and who wants it, because you can't contain motivation and desires and dreams. When you see people grow into their best possible self, it just keeps on going and keeps on giving. And Arbonne is altruistic as well as a brand, because it's balancing profit with people. But you can earn more and you can have more to help more people. So let it start with your vision and your story. The most successful people I have ever seen in this business are definitely action-orientated people. And they reckon.
I would love to hear this lady explain then, why is the income disclosure statement so bad? Why are most of the people not earning any profit in Arbonne? I would really like to hear an explanation from her about that.
Nice that it takes action to make this work, but bear that in mind. Think of all the leaders that you aspire to. If it was just in the UK, all the leaders they're all action-orientated people. And the really exciting part, when you're looking for the people that you want to attract into your team, I absolutely believe this 100%. I'm sure other leaders would say this. I'm even sure possibly people in corporate would say the same. The top leaders have not yet been found in Arbonne. So whether you're brand new in this business, happy Christmas, happy birthday. you know, you're brand new. I've been in this business for 12 years. So we're
If you're new, we're congratulating you Christmas and birthday? What the hell does that mean?
exactly on an even place here, because I'm looking for new people to help change their story, and so are you. But if you knew the top leaders hadn't been found yet in Arbonne, because wow, look at all the countries who may move into at some point. I would just say, you know, look for those people, and look for the girls and the guys that you think would make great brand ambassadors in this business. So if you're talking to guys, think of lines of products that they would be attracted to. Sports nutrition, body hydration products, healthy skin inside and out products, energy drinks. They can focus on those aspects and they can become brand ambassadors in those sectors. Everybody knows now what a brand ambassador is, what an influencer is. So, you know, if it's women that want to look for makeup and looking good, they can be a brand ambassador in the beauty sector. You can say that to
You're not a brand ambassador and you're not an influencer if you join an MLM. You obviously don't know what that means if you think that you joining Arbonne makes you an influencer or a brand ambassador. That's not what that is, lady. So yeah, try to Google it. It's a simple Google search away.
people. Come and join my team. I'd love to work with you. You know, you would be a great brand ambassador in the beauty section or the sports nutrition sector. And it really makes sense to people if they can see how this can fit into their life. There are enough sectors for every single person to find their niche. And remember, we're just consumers. We're all just consumers who have chosen to use clean, healthy products that we are going to use. And if we want to, we can grow a business and show other people how to do the same. So put yourself in those shoes of those people. What are their motivators? Because until you find their motivators, you're just
Okay, kudos for that, because you are just a customer. You are just an Arbonne customer. You're not building anything on the side, because most of the people are failing. And I have no doubt that this lady is not high up in Arbonne as well. Also, just to repeat myself, you're not an influencer and you're not a brand ambassador.
you're just hard selling something to them and their ears are not open. So how could you help them make a difference for their lives and their story and change their story, visualizing how you're going to overcome any rejections, regardless of the outcome? And I feel, I'm sure you do as well, I feel so good when I can speak my mind and show up and speak to someone about this business and these products. And I can create a winning mindset routine that inspires others to follow me. So look after your mindset. You know, I'm just starting to write down my daily wins, whatever they are. So if you've got any personal wins on a daily basis, then that means you've won. Write them down. It makes you feel good. So maybe how about keeping a daily wins book where you can write down those daily wins and then look back over the 30 days and find out, you know, I've had all these wins over the last 30 days. I'm doing something right. They could be anything. They could be getting up on time, eating healthily, connecting with people, talking to people, regardless of the outcome. And, you know, my story is really simple. And the reason I say that is because look for people like you. If you know why you started this business and it's for great reasons, then you want to find more people like you. I want to find 1,000 Sarah Mills, right? Because my story is simple. You know, it's for strong, determined, positive people who might be doing ordinary things but can see how using Arbonne as a vehicle, as you and you as their guide, could do something extraordinary. That's who I'm looking for. People who are curious and coachable and happy to grow over time, because that was me. And, you know, just before we wrap up, our stories are powerful. You know, my story is very simple, and it's probably like so many people that were doing ordinary corporate jobs. You know, who do you know that might be like me, right? I was a marketing consultant in London with 2 kids, working very long 12-hour days for more than 10 years. But I was a happy, hardworking, solution-based, and I was a positive, fun person to be around. And I was also open-minded and curious. And I dabbled in entrepreneurship in my 20s, but I'd taken a safe corporate job. And although I wasn't actively looking for something else, as I didn't think I had the time, I was a bit of a dreamer and a future thinker. And that's what, and the kind of what ifs. And I was a total believer that things happen at the right time for the right reason. So when Ella asked me to take a look at this business, as a different working option for the future and directly asked me to be her business partner because she could see the potential for us, I literally thought, why not?
It seems to me that you thought, why not? But you didn't really do any type of research because you are not a business partner. You're both independent consultants, independent contractors for Arbonne. You're not business partners. And if you wanted to be an entrepreneur, you kind of missed it because you joining Arbonne does not make you an entrepreneur. And it's not too late. You can still get out if you ever see this video, probably not. But if you do, you could still try to do something on the side that's actually entrepreneurial. You know, I'm sure you have some skills and stuff that you can do outside of the MLM, and please, word of advice, just never quit your corporate job. That's all I'm gonna say.
I wasn't giving anything up immediately. I was still going to carry on doing my job, go to work. I was just going to grow it alongside my job to see what happened. I was going to switch my brand and I was going to learn some of the top tips from the people that had already been in it. And to be fair, I didn't want to miss out. I didn't want to have any regrets later. I could see they were awesome products and I loved them. And I loved the idea of something beneficial for me and my family over time. So who do you know that's like me or has those traits? Or who are you going to meet tomorrow that this could be a great fit for? You have to genuinely care to ask them, to compliment them, to find out a bit about them and let them know that you would love to work with them because of ... So here's a little bit of homework for you. Can you write down 5 things after this call that starts with, I started this business because? Write down 5 things, right? Mine were really simple. Don't overthink it. Mine were really simple. If I said them now, they would literally be, I liked the sound of it. I was delighted my friend asked me. I could see the potential. I was very excited to have a possibility to leave corporate in the future if it worked out to my plan, nobody else's. And to be fair, I wanted to make loads of money on my terms and have freedom of time.
But I thought it was about helping people in a profound way rather than making a shit ton of money with the business.
What made you start this business? What would make someone else start this business with you? You have to own your own certainty. You have to feel so certain about it so you can attract others to you too. Doesn't matter whether you've been successful. Doesn't matter whether you've had any wins yet. Doesn't matter if you've got anybody in your team yet. You have to be certain so other people can feel that certainty in you. And when they can feel that certainty in you, they will think, Sarah's onto something. Ella's onto something. I'm onto something. So be certain, be unfaltering in your vision and relentless in your action in the time that you give to this business, and you can achieve extraordinary things for your future that have no limits. And that is literally what I've believed since day one. It's up to me now to achieve all that I have set out to achieve, and I haven't, and it will grow every day. But it's up to me to achieve. It's not up to anyone else. And that to me is freedom, and that makes me feel really happy. So share your story with yourself. Share your story with yourself. Write down why you started this business. 5 things. I started this business because. Write them down. Fall in love with them. And please go and share your story with other people, or find out what their story is, because they probably won't be interested in your story to start with, but they might be really interested in knowing that they could change their story. So that's it from me. I know it says it's Ella Harper here, but it's not. It's because I'm logged on to Ella. This is actually. And go and own your story. Have the best last couple of weeks of the month. And yeah, make some extraordinary things happen. Keep the firework burning. So thank you so much, and I shall see you all soon. Bye.
Did she just say have the best last couple of weeks of the month? Way to overcomplicate the fact that it's mid-month. Yeah, I think I said everything I had about that. Like, from what she said, she started the business because she hoped that she would one day be able to quit her corporate job, but the fact that she's still doing her corporate job, and it's probably been years since she joined, just tells us what we already know. She's not successful successful, as we've just seen the income disclosure statement. Also, I'm gonna link all of that below in the description box. It's very hard for people to earn any profit with Arbonne. You have to be top few percent. It is set up in a way so that people are going to fail. Most people are going to fail. But anyway, let me know what you thought about this one. I'm gonna wrap that up here because I am hungry and I also want another coffee. Thank you for watching, especially if you're in this far. You're a true trooper. I really appreciate you, and big shout out to all of my channel members. You guys help me out more than you probably realize. And yeah, I will see you all in the next one.